What's going on? I'm just going to be honest with you. Um, a lot of family members, a lot of families, they're not worth holding on to. You know, um, a lot of us are best creating our own family. Raising our own family, instilling our own values or morals uh, into our new family because the family that a lot of us were born into. Um, a lot of us were born into a family setting of our enemies, not supporters, not people who loved us. We were born into uh, circumstances where people hate us, envious of us, jealous. You know, they want what we have. You know, they try to copy our character, mimic our style, steal our creativity, steal our good energy. Just drain us. Um, it's best for a lot of us to create our own family. And I just want to say, I'm just going to be blunt with it. Um, uh, I got away from my family. I had a falling out with my family because I found out that I was adopted. And it wasn't through uh, pleasant circumstances. It's through very harsh. Um, and at that time, I had a father figure uh, who was not very supportive, who withheld this information. Well, basically, both parents did, but at the time, I was in communication with my father figure, and I found out that they've been withholding information that they knew this whole time that he was never my father. You know, and some may think that they made a not told me out of love, but there was no love in this relationship. My father figure never loved me. He never showed me that he loved me. It was all manipulation, narcissistic uh, tactics. A lot of covert abuse, a lot of verbal abuse. A lot of manipulation. A lot of control. You know, a lot of that goes on behind closed doors when you're dealing with narcissists. And I had to get away from my family because not only were they hiding the fact that I was adopted, um, they were hiding the fact that they were using me for finances. They didn't. Uh, to be honest, I have strong reason to believe that they didn't obtain rights to my adoption legally. You know, I got a closed adoption. A lot of stuff with my identity is is questioned, very questionable. It should be questioned. My real name, my original origin, where I was born, that's in question. I did some digging myself with the courts and you know what I knew how to do. How I knew how to navigate the system, and the adoption process is new to me, so I was basically learning on the fly, and I listened to a lot of other people's stories, and there are a lot of similarities with many of us, especially adoptees. Uh, a lot of us are dealing with Masons, Eastern Stars, people who are involved with cults, uh, Satanism. Just the lower forces. See, the thing in Masons and these cults, they work together, and they target certain people, and they work in groups. It's basically uh, organized crime against us. You know, a lot of people wouldn't believe that there are groups of people that come after one person. That's exactly what happens. It's meant to be that way. It's designed to break you. It's designed to make you feel like you're crazy. It's designed to make you go crazy, you know, because a lot of people, these things you gotta understand, right? When it, we're talking about gang stalking here and harassment, you know, and all that, a lot of that stuff is covert that these Masons do. Masons and these stars and cult, cult affiliates, they do a lot of stuff covert, a lot of stuff with gang stalking or organized crime. They want to make you look like you're crazy. They want to get you locked up. You know, they want you to lash out and then attack them. You know, they want you to make a fool of yourself. They want you to break down and cry and get emotional. You know, they want you to show all your weaknesses so they can further capitalize, on the situation. See, the thing is, right? I learned that as far as my relationships, my family members sent the majority of those relationships to me. Those relationships were set up. Those people were set up for me to date. And I know a lot of you have been through the same thing. But we need to understand why this is happening. You know, we need to understand why. Because once we understand why, we could effectively combat this in a healthy way and where we don't compromise ourselves and our own well being. Because that's what they want us to do. I know that these covert attacks are unfair. They attack for many of us who have children, they attack our kids. They attack our finances. They attack our mental health. They attack our spiritual health. They attack our emotional health. You have to learn how to protect yourself spiritually. I do too. I've been learning. Um, I've mainly been learning on the fly. You know, keep your faith high. Keep your faith in the Most High, in God, in your ancestors. That is your greatest weapon in this battle against Masons and cult, members and stuff like that. The higher you vibe, they won't be able to touch you. But you got to be able to have faith and tap into some of this stuff because, like they say, this is a spiritual warfare. You know, um, they call them chosen ones. They call them targeted individuals. But just know, if you are being unfairly targeted, unfairly harassed, unfairly treated by your community, if you're find difficulty getting a job, gaining an employment, uh, people are not listening to you. Um, you got legal issues, and the lawyers are not assisting you. All that is by design. Trust me, I've been going through it, and so have other people. But we need to understand why. You know, I know it's painful. I know it's hurtful. I know it makes you angry. It pisses you off. But in order to beat this, in order to come up out of this darkness that they're trying to put us in, we got to come to an understanding. You know, we got to know what's really going on. We got to understand why are we being targeted. There's a bigger picture with all this. They're not just targeting you because they want to target you. They're doing it for a reason. But you got to move smart. You can't be out here making, you know, you know, just shaky moves. You got to be very smart. It's chess, not checkers out here. With these people. You got to say you are outnumbered in the physical aspect, but in reality, in the spiritual aspect, you got an army with you. But you got to be able to trust that and believe in that and tap into that. You know, when it comes to a lot of this gang stalking and harassment and these Masons and stuff like that and being targeted, you got to rely on your ancestors. You know, it's if you can't really rely on human beings here because human beings fall short. And a lot of other people are going through things. They may not be strong enough to help you. But if there are some people that's going to help you, that's fine. I'm happy for you. But don't rely on other people to help you. Rely on your ancestors. Rely on the Most High, because that's where you're going to get the best guidance from. Because your ancestors can see what you can't see. The ancestors can see what the people who are helping you on the physical realm, what they can't see. Follow that guidance. And with this situation with game stalking and being harassed and targeted individuals, you got to, man, you just gotta like, it's a very difficult situation, because you're being constantly attacked in many ways. Uh, you know, they try to uh, make it where you don't have any money, so you can't defend yourself legally, or get anything done um, for yourself. Um, but there's a lot of other people also going through these situations. So like I'm also kind of like not understanding, even though it's difficult. Like you got to think about it. Like try to, even though it's hard, and people who are being gang stalked and targeted, like try to listen to other people's stories. I know it's hard, and you probably don't want to listen to other people's stories while you're going through something, but I recommend that you try to, because there may be a message for you in someone else's experience. That's how it happens for me. I listen to a lot of people's stories. I listen to a lot of people are going through, and I gain insight, I gain experience, I gain knowledge from other people's stories, and I'm able to apply a lot of those experiences and lessons and circumstances from other people into my own circumstance, and effectively uh, help myself. But like I said, I just wanted to make this video, because like I said, I found out I was illegally adopted. You know, I found out that my father figure was sleeping with my ex girlfriend. You know, he slept with a couple of my girlfriends behind my back. My own father. I know a lot of people have been through stuff like that. A lot of people's parents have been messing around uh, with their boyfriends and girlfriends, which is disgusting. But it happens, you know. And I found out that my family members, my sisters, certain who I thought were my friends in the community, a lot of them were trying to, help my family members set me up to be killed, for life insurance policies, you know, help set me up to be killed for finances, because, like I said, I am adopted, and my family has been using me since I was born for financial reasons, not out of love, for finances. And I figured it out, and that's fine. I don't care if there was no love, and my family saying it wasn't meant to be. It was just meant for me to learn those lessons, which I did, and it was meant for you to move on, which I'm doing. You know, I'm not hurt about nothing, and I just want to, try to empower men and women that are going through something, you know, 'cause it is tough, it is rough, and a lot of people are not able to understand what's going on, you know, and it's tough watching other people going through some stuff, man. It is tough, but you know, if a lot of us work together, you know, and we work uh, by ourselves doing the individual work, you know, we could really make something happen. We could really make some progress with this gang stalking and targeted individuals and us being harassed and being attacked, our kids being attacked, our finances being attacked, our mental state and emotional state being attacked. We can do something about this stuff, Um, like, so I got a dark story too. I know a lot of other people do as well. You got to speak up. You got to tell your story, and that's also what I've been trying to motivate myself to do as well. Because there's come a time point I didn't want to speak about, the stuff I was going through. You know, I did it. I wasn't scared or anything. I just didn't feel like it. I I just didn't want to speak about it, you know. But I know that I have to and I need to, and me speaking about my experiences, it can help someone, motivate someone else to speak about theirs. You know, um, like I said, also my family is trying to have me killed. You know, actively, still, covertly. You know, a lot of the stuff is, I've been poisoned by my own father. You know, been poisoned by my own family members. I've been poisoned by my own sister through my weed, through my drinks. You know, um, I've been poisoned through my protein powder when I was working out. You know, I had razor blades placed in my grinder at an establishment. You know, I ordered a cheeseburger grinder. There was razor blades in my grinder. You know, uh, I, I got so many situations that I could tell people about. Um, it's ridiculous, you know. But the sad part is, a lot of those unfortunate circumstances derive from family. They derive from close friends. You know, I got away from all of them. I cut off all my old friends. I cut off all my family members. I'm talking about all, all of them. I walked away. I cut them all off. You know, they held on to me being adopted for malicious reasons. They got that. You know, I'm not going to cry about it. Justice will be served. You tried to kill me for life insurance policies. You tried to kill me to stop me from speaking out about the truth. You tried to shut me up because I was speaking out about my identity being stolen. You tried to shut me up for speaking out about the sexual and physical abuse that I received when I was a child. You try to shut me up for speaking up about all the gang stalking, forging my signature on documents, stealing from me. My father figure tried to help set me up with my ex to say I got her pregnant, but none of it was really true. So they could manipulate me and control me for financial reasons. A lot of people are just dark and evil, you know. Not everybody's good, not everyone deserves a second chance. You gotta understand that. You know, some people you have to permanently let go. The first time, you can't give certain people a second time to do you wrong. So a lot of people are going to take that second time and they're going to put you in the ground. We need to learn from our lessons. You know, if someone does you dirty, anybody, you need to let them go. It don't matter if it's your best friend. It don't matter if it's your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your uncle, your aunt, your best friend for fucking 30 years. It don't matter. You got to let people go. Trauma, heartbreak, and pain has made people feel like they need to hold on to toxic individuals. No, you gotta let them people go. You are suffering when you allow yourself to be mistreated. The person who is mistreating you is not suffering in that moment. Yeah, they're suffering because they're mistreating you, you know, but you're the one suffering when you allow someone to continue to mistreat you. You know, I had problems people pleasing. I had problems with speaking up for myself. I had problems with anger. I had problems with expressing myself. You know, I had problems with trusting my intuition and trusting what I knew, what was true. Now I don't, you know? So I can freely speak on my experiences with full confidence, you know? My family members do me dirty, but the whole thing is that they were never my family in the first place. I'm adopted. So I can't really expect someone who was never really genetically connected to me to really love me. You know, that's just how I feel. You know, so I'm not going to expect someone who didn't birth me with the right intentions to love me. I can't. You know, I would never. And I don't. But what I am going to do is I'm going to find out who my real parents are, and I'm going to move on. You know, I'm going to move on. There's a lot of things to my story um, that are going to be very surprising and alarming to people. Um, I haven't even scratched the surface on the story, to be honest. You know, to be honest, I may not even be from this country. It's a high possibility. So, but then that raises the question: how did I get to America? How? How did the Wright and Bunn family obtain the birthrights to my adoption? How did they do that? Who helped them? See, the thing is, right? Let's just say if my adoption was illegal, you really can't have an illegal adoption without the help of the adoption agency, someone in child protective services, or a law official. You can't. You got to have some inside help with certain crimes. You know, a lot of people can't do this shit themselves. Excuse me for cussing, but people can't do these things for themselves. You know, so I think about stuff like that, and there's a lot of fraud. There's a lot of fraudulent activity pertaining to my closed and illegal adoption. You know, and we're going to get to the bottom of it step by step. You know, no matter how long it takes, no matter who's involved, everybody's going to be brought to justice. You know, and I just wanted to make this video and just reach out to people who are going through some of the similar things, because I know a lot of people, like myself, are finding out they were adopted and they didn't even know. You gotta understand the part of the reason like your family members have treated you this way is because you are adopted. See, a lot of our family members adopted us not out of love, like I said. So they adopted us for other reasons. Could be financial, could be for control. It could be, who knows what the reason could be. To be honest, there are many reasons, you know. But you gotta understand that a lot of adoptees uh, are treated unfairly, are treated like crap because their family has always known that you were adopted, and that's partly why they treat you that way. You know, they're jealous of you, they're envious and hateful of you They want what you got. A lot of these people know who you are in terms of energy, so they attack you. They attack you unfairly. Life is not fair. I don't know who needs to hear this, but let me tell you, there's nothing about life that's fair. Nothing. Nothing. But we can make it fair.